Welcome to Now Spinning Magazine. First and foremost, this is a community for like-minded music fans from around the world. The idea behind it was the idea of meeting your friends on a Friday night and having a chat about the music you discovered during the week and what records you might have bought. And I realised as I was going through life that many of my friends didn't buy records or CDs anymore, and they weren't really interested perhaps. And as you go through life, you become a little bit isolated, you have families, you settle down, you move away. And I just felt, am I the only person that still likes to put a CD on, to buy a record? And I just missed, thinking, if I put a record on, am I the only person on the planet who's actually playing this at this point in time? And so I thought, what can I do to try and just chat to other people and about music, about the stuff that I've always been passionate about. And so Now Spinning Magazine was born. It was called Now Spinning just to start with. The magazine bit came later on when I realised that growing a community meant that it's sort of had a bit of oomph behind it, and it had a way of influencing things in a really good way for music fans and collectors. I see us as music fans rather than collectors, because we play what we own. And it's kind of, appreciating what you've got, but also the excitement about seeing what else is coming out and learning from each other and finding out about a band you've missed out first or second or third time round, or something brand new that's just up your street kind of thing, really. So the community part of Now Spinning Magazine is the most important part of it. I don't see myself as a YouTuber. You're watching this probably on YouTube, and the YouTube channel is just a spoke off the main Now Spinning Magazine wheel, which is the website. But really within that is the community. And we have a private community on Facebook. So to be in that, you need to be a Now Spinning Magazine patron or YouTube member. And that might sound odd that it isn't just a community of thousands of people, although there are over 100,000 people connected through all the social media channels. But it was very important to me with this idea of being down the pub, meeting your mates, that it was a safe place to hang out, because the internet can be pretty much like the Wild West, really, and not always a great place to hang out. So I wanted it to be somewhere where you could talk about any music, any album, from any genre, in any format, because I am multi-format man and I love CD and records. See, I'm using the word records there, because I used to go to a record shop to buy CDs. But I wanted so that whatever you wanted to talk about, you could wander off and interact with your own life and come back and not find some snidey remark from somebody saying that was the worst thing they'd ever heard or something. Because one of the things that the kind of community has embraced is that you don't really know what you don't like anymore. As you go through life, you might only like this, me. Loved heavy metal, me. Anything outside of that, nah, didn't trust it. Now, whether it's soul, funk, jazz or prog or classical music, I'm open. I'm open to anything. And so the community is really an amazing place. And I think even the kind of record labels, and I've realised this now, that this community is full of people, especially because it was all about physical media. It's all about owning and touching and having this personal curated library of music around you. We are people that buy stuff. We love our physical music collections. As I've just said, they are curated personal art collections that tell a story. They tell our story. These albums have touchstone parts of our lives, of where we met people, we've had children, we've had loss or anything, and then we share our stories. And so I'm very aware that, whenever something comes along and I say, this is good, there's a spike in sales. So, we have influence here. And so I can see why lots of people are trying to get in amongst it to see, because if we mention something and I say it's really good, it usually flies out the gate. We've used our influence to get the labels, especially on vinyl, to try and always ensure we have polylined inner sleeves for all new vinyl records, because it was driving me nuts, the quality of new vinyl. And some labels like Inside Out are good examples of who follow that to the letter, really. We also have our own pub, a virtual pub, but it's a pub based on the ethos of what it was all about, really, called the Now Spinning Arms, and we meet up via Zoom twice a month there. But the WhatsApp group has got little mini groups underneath it. We have music chit chat where we talk about anything now playing, new releases, deals, offers. We trawl the internet looking for things that we might find interesting for each other. Concert memories, we talk about stuff like that, and things we've been to see, music, films, books, all sorts of stuff. And of course, for those of you wondering, what is it that you've bumped into here, there's this YouTube channel where I will do reviews, unboxings, rankings, features, but there's no drama, because I respect the fact that if there's something I don't quite get yet, there'll be someone out there that's the music, that's the album where you met your the love of your life partner, and your story might make me go down that route and change my view about it. And I think that we have this wonderful community in several places, within Facebook, which many people have said it's the best community on the internet and the WhatsApp group, but also within this YouTube channel. If you look through all the videos, and a lot of the comment streams are packed full of stories and really long, almost essays on some of the comments. But again, there's no drama, and it's not because I'm sitting there kind of editing and censoring and deleting. I'm not. I think a lot of people come in and they read the room and think, well, this isn't going to work, and they go off and go somewhere else. But that's a very, very important part of Now Spinning magazine. I also do lots of interviews. I've been very lucky to interview some of the biggest artists and names in the world of rock and pop. And there's absolutely tons of stuff to watch in the archive. There's thousands of videos as well, lots of reviews, lots of features, lots of beginners guides, and I love doing those. But the fact is, it's always about the stuff that I really love. And I also do a Music for Mental Health series, and the reason I do that is it says on my t-shirt, which is obviously, we have our own merch store, but that says music is the healer and the doctor. And as I'm someone who's I've had issues with mental health through my life, I wanted to do something to show what helped me, and hopefully what will help others. And I know that many of you have come through into Now Spinning magazine because of that music and mental health series. I just want to. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm not chasing an algorithm. I'm not going to be bullied by a piece of computer code, and I did a separate video on that. But what I'm saying here is a bit different. That I want to do something that, because I'm inspired to do it. And some of my videos will get thousands of views. And some will get just a couple of hundred. But you never know who's going to watch. And if that helps a new band, because obviously I take risks. I interview some people who aren't that well known. I review some bands that aren't that well known. But I'd rather do that. I'd rather be like, and I'm not going to be like John Peel, but I'd rather be about someone who covers everything. If I think about my favourite magazine when I was growing up, newspaper, it was Sounds. I'm in the UK, and Sounds newspaper was my favourite. And I love the way that there would be a page on soul or a page on folk, and there'd be heavy metal or whatever. And I like that. I like that. And so I know that what I produce here might not be for all of you. And I know some people watch some videos and some people think that's not for me. But you never know. I might open a door to, or a rabbit hole that might kind of empty your wallet when you least expect it. This is my full-time gig, by the way, in case you think I'm doing something else down the side. So yes, taking a risk and not just going for the clickbait, to get in the numbers and getting the views and getting the ad revenue might seem odd, but I don't want to be dependent on one platform. I'm from Google Plus. Well, I'm not technically from Google, but I remember what it's like when you stick all your eggs in one basket and then the people behind it decide we're not doing that anymore, and you lose everything. So it's very important to me that there is a Now Spinning Magazine website, and there is this YouTube channel and the Facebook groups and WhatsApp group and X and Instagram. We're everywhere. And of course the mailing list, so that it's a proper established community made up of people that love music, that love owning music, that don't want to rent from a library, although we do stream to discover. But once we've discovered and decided, yes, that's for me, or no, that isn't, if it is, we go and buy the CD or we go and buy the album to support the artist. That's what we're about. It's for those people, and this is the kind of cornerstone that will draw you in or make you think, nah, I don't get that. That you don't always have to be playing the music, but just being around it and picking, I haven't got anything near me I can just reach for, but just picking something off the shelf, and you go and sit on the sofa, and you might be having a cup of coffee or a beer or whatever, and you go through the box set or something and the booklet for God knows how many times you've already done that, but you're just doing it, and you're not even playing anything from it, but you're just enjoying your music collection, and you haven't even put it on. Because if you're into physical media and you love buying records and albums, it's like browsing in a shop, but you're browsing in a shop that you've already got everything in it, because it's your life, it's your memories, and you think, oh, I remember that, I remember buying that when my son was 5 or something, or whatever's going on, or it's when I, this music, I lost my dad. There's certain things that bring back memories. So sometimes it might not be necessarily a happy memory, but it's part of your story. And so it's enjoying your personally curated art collection for the working man or woman, isn't it? Music. And that's really what Now Spinning Magazine is all about. For those of you who watch my channel updates before, this is probably the most strange one in the way that I've approached it. But I've approached it this way because I've realised now, with the kind of things I've done this year, doing face-to-face interviews with bands like the Cats in Space, helping to push bands into giving them a wider audience, but also helping record labels think about how they're going to produce something, and also realising that the community that we have here is made up of people that really care about music. We really care about how a box set is put together. We really care about how things are produced and released. And if it's done really well, we get really behind it, and boom, we'll all be enjoying it and absolutely having a great time. And equally, it's about somebody mentioning a record that you've owned for years, decades sometimes, and you haven't played it for ages, and someone talks about it, then someone else talks about it, and then someone else mentions it, and there you go, and you're playing it. Oh my God, this is fantastic. This is not the place if you're someone that has a sealed copy of something on the shelf and you've just got it there because you think it might be worth something. That isn't us. What we have, we play. We buy it to play it, to enjoy it, because none of us knows how long we're here or whatever. And equally, it's not all for people who are older or whatever. This is for you if you're 22 and you've just bought an album or you want to get into things, you don't know where to start. You're welcome here as well. And it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, whatever, you're welcome here. My wife joins me on quite a few videos now. And we just want this to be for everyone. As I said, it's a community for people who love music. There are no-go areas for artists or formats or genres or time periods. This is just for people who love music. So if you want to become part of this community, then become a Patron or YouTube member. There's links below this, depending on where you're watching or listening. And you'll get access to the WhatsApp groups and the Facebook group We have our own merch, and there are people walking around the planet with these t-shirts on and all sorts of groovy goodies as well. And you can come to our own private pub, but most of all, you can just watch, enjoy, and be part of this. And I also want to say thank you to all of you who are part of this and who have supported me, and it has grown in such a way that the amount of people who are listening now, I think we're about 27,000 subscribers, but the monthly viewers is 97,000+ people. The website is 235,000 visitors. Overall on social media, it's over 100,000 people connected to Now Spinning Magazine. It is marvellous. And then we have the inner core of the community itself, and we've got loads of people in that. Anyway, music is the healer and the doctor. I really believe that, and I really, really mean this when I say thank you. So take care, all of you. Reach out, message me, send an email, wherever you can. I'm very easy to find, but thank you for all of your support. Take care, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.